Hello, welcome to Moist Nougat. I am the Kid.
And I'm DanLee.
Those of you that are seeing this see that DanLee's here. He's home visiting for Christmas. He's home from college for Christmas.
Yeah, me in college.
Figured we'd have him sit in on the podcast.
Glad to be here.
I wanted to start out, though. I wanted to say happy birthday to Dar. Tomorrow's her birthday.
Your mother-in-law.
Yep, she's going to be 35.
Nice lady. She's wonderful.
35.
35?
Yeah.
Dang. Wow. How does she do it?
And for the faithful watchers of the video, my beard is gone.
Yes.
The Broncos lost. I shaved the beard. The reason I started growing the beard, the Broncos went on a 5-game win streak.
Right.
They lost, and I was pissed that they lost because they really should have won. They played like shit in the first half.
Yeah.
But it was almost a blessing because the beard was getting ratty. It was itching, and it was driving me nuts. But I'm like, I'll keep it if they win. Yeah. But if they lose, it's coming off. Next day, it was gone.
Yeah, I hear you.
And now I got to deal with the double chin thing.
Okay.
Until my new facial hair grows out.
Yeah.
DanLee's pulling the Fu Manchu thing or
yeah.
mustache. What do you?
That's
it. Is it a Fu Manchu?
It's a Fu Manchu. Yeah, I experienced being down in Florida now. I experienced my first hurricane, and after the hurricane was over, I thought, I got up one morning and I'm looking. I'm like, I was about to shave, and I thought, all right, I've been through my first hurricane. Now it's time for my first Fu Manchu. Yeah. So I've got this going, and I like it. So
I've done that before.
It might be here for a while.
I've had it,
Yeah. Yep.
When I'm running my fingers down the side of my face, mouth. I've had that. I've probably had just about every variation, except the really real thin, like right along here.
Oh, right,
beard.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's a younger. Yeah. I don't have the patience for that kind of. Shaving.
Oh, because you'll mess it up so quick with one bad move.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because it's real. That's my thing. I grow a beard. I try to cut, the hairs and something. I get out of the shower and I comb it.
Right.
And all that. And then there's it looks like a porcupine. And so I try to cut those off. And then, I'll walk into the bedroom and put my shoes on and go back in. And I come back in and it looks like a porcupine again. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
So basically, I grow a beard. It gets out of hand. I shave it off.
Right.
And then I just start over with something else. I don't care for the hair on my upper lip as much as it never used to bother me when I was younger.
Right.
It drives me nuts now, especially when it gets a little too bushy.
Yeah.
Because liquid, you take a sip of water or something and it's like a sponge. It's just there.
Yeah, you can just feel it too.
Yeah.
No, I know. What I find interesting is that when your hair starts to change color, going from a normal color to a gray, the texture
it gets wiry.
It gets wiry. It starts growing. I've got a little chunk
coarser
right here that's growing at a different angle than the rest of it. It just life gets weird sometimes.
It does when you get older. Yeah. Welcome to Manscaping with DanLee and the Kid.
Manscaping. Yes, indeed.
But yeah, it's like I grow it when it gets out of hand. I shave it off and start again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it only takes me like a week to have like a beard.
Oh yeah, yours grows really quick.
It does.
Yeah.
And
really
I hate
fast.
shaving.
Yeah. I don't like shaving either.
It's never been.
But when I'm shaving this, I really don't like it when I screw up because I was really good with the right side. The left side, I get done and I'm like, oh crap, it's not as long. It's a little bit shorter.
Right, and then you got to cut this one, and then you're like, shit, this one's longer now.
Yeah,
and then you got to cut this one.
What the hell? I mean, how am I screwing this
Pretty
up
soon
so
you
bad?
end up, you got a Hitler mustache.
Oh God. Yeah, I think I'll keep cutting at that point. But because he ruined it for everybody.
He did.
He's like, oh, not wearing that.
Well, I remember several years ago there was a Michael Jordan when he was doing like the Hanes underwear commercials or something. He was like on a plane. He had like the Hitler mustache.
Oh, no kidding. I never saw that.
Oh man, people were
really
going nuts. I mean, I'm sure when he did it, he was just trying to do something different.
Yeah.
He wasn't really thinking like, oh, I'm going to go, grow a Hitler mustache.
Well, imagine if Michael Jordan walks in to do a commercial. You think anybody's going to tell him that? I don't think that's going to fly.
Somebody needed to, though, because he caught a lot of flack for that.
Yeah.
And I don't think he had any ill intentions or anything. It wasn't secretly he was a Nazi or anything.
Right. I mean, people just have way too much respect for him to say, you probably should shave that.
But when you get to that stature, you have to have the one person that is in your entourage that's willing to go, dude.
Right.
Dude.
No.
You can't do a commercial with that.
No.
You just can't.
Right.
You can't have a bunch of kiss asses around you that
it
looks great. Looks great. We should get a military uniform and put it on.
Oh God. Whoa. Oh man. Yeah, I hate shaving when you're going for a specific look and you want it balanced and all that.
Well, and here's the kicker, like your mom always told you when you were a teenager that when you get older, you don't get zits. Bullshit.
Right.
Because when I took my beard off, and I don't know if it was an actual zit or like an ingrown hair, but like I shaved it off like on a Monday because the Broncos played Sunday. So Monday I took it off. Tuesday I was getting ready to take a shower and go out to the grocery store and stuff like that. And I had a big old freaking... Well, I mean, it always looks bigger to you when you're looking, oh my God, it's like huge.
Yeah.
But it was like, it felt like it needed to be popped. But I don't think it was a zit. I think it was ingrown hair. Because I'm like, and then I got even a bigger red mark because I've been pinching the shit out of my skin. And I had to go out to the grocery store with that. And I'm like,
right.
I'm hideous.
It's got all this pressure to it, and it's like, oh man, I hate this.
But it went away the next day, so
yeah. Well,
I even tried shaving it off. I was like, fuck it, I'll just push a little harder right there and just I'll have a big cut.
Yeah. That's what I faced this morning with this little lump. I don't know where this lump came from. It'll be gone in 3 or 4 days, but I'm like, what the hell? First thing I did was lop the top of it off. I knew that was going to happen. I was trying to be careful, but it's like, screw it. I'm shaving.
Yeah, that's all you can do. But yeah, you still get zits when you get older. You don't get them as frequently, but you still get them.
Right.
On your face, anyways.
It's weird.
I'm not going to get into the acne conversation because that's kind of gross, anyways. Like all I can think of is like Dr. Pimple Popper or whatever. It's like who wants to see people have these huge zits popped? I don't want to see that. I'm not going to watch it on TV.
I have a worse problem with people that are eating and the microphone's like stuffed right in their mouth with the food.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, what in the hell are they recording this for?
Well, and
I'm not getting it.
It's big on TikTok. There's a lot of people that like they start their video and it's like the camera comes on, here they are, and they stick something in their mouth and start chewing and then talking. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Now, there was a woman that was doing this that I was getting extremely irritated with.
Oh, no kidding.
I mean, I never watched her whole video, but I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a thing. She had a name for it because I saw another video of her actually explaining to people.
Wow.
Like, it's part of her, it's a comedy bit, but it's like, it's not funny. And it's actually gross and annoying.
It's annoying for me.
To each their own. I can just swipe on by. I don't have to watch it. I mean, there's some people that's their fetish, I guess.
They'll go to it, sure.
Like the whole ASMR thing. I can't stand... whispering irritates me.
Yeah.
So to hear somebody going... Or... I mean, but whispering... Because I think I've talked about it. Whispering just annoys me.
Yeah, right.
Like... My wife will do that sometimes, and then people will be like, next, like 100 miles away. And I'm like, what? I can't hear you.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, why are you whispering? Unless they're like the bionic woman with the ear.
Yeah.
They're not going to hear you.
Right.
or it's somebody with a miracle ear in or something.
A miracle ear.
But I get it. She just doesn't want to like offend anybody or whatever. But,
yeah.
But I can't. When somebody whispers, I really can't even understand what they're saying.
Right.
It's just all I hear is.
And then it makes me want to yell out, "Why are you whispering?"
Yeah, exactly. Then you draw the attention of the people that they're whispering about.
Yeah, then you're getting daggers out of your wife's eye at you.
We'll move on from zits and whispering.
Zits and whispering.
We were outside a little while ago. We were talking about because I was actually thinking about it this morning. Was because you guys are taking your camper down to Yankeetown.
Right.
You're moving down there permanently.
Right.
Well, with you guys the last 10 or so years, nothing's been permanent.
Yeah. Don't count on it being permanent, but yeah. Just that desire to have a different horizon.
They could take their camper down to Florida after Christmas when they go back down. And next time I talk to them on the phone, they could be living in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, we were able to hook it up with pontoons and float it across. We picked the right time of year to go.
But I wanted to ask you about down there, Yankeetown.
Yeah.
Like what? I know it's a small town.
Yeah.
But like, how far do you have to go to a Lowe's or a grocery store?
Well, fortunately, in that respect, I mean, there is it's when you come off of Highway 19, which is a road artery that runs down the whole left coast.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're not living in like Kathmandu or something like that.
Right.
It's like,
we're
it's
not.
like 600 miles to the nearest HEB.
Yeah, there is one weird thing I got to tell you about, but I'll say this, that Crystal River, Florida, is only 11 miles south of us.
Yeah,
and we have one grocery store, and it's not even we're in Yankeetown, but there's another town that's right next to it, and with probably about the same population. And Yankeetown's got right at around 500 people.
Yeah,
in Inglis
in the summertime, right?
Yeah, in the winter time. In the wintertime, that's when the population grows.
I thought it was like 114,000 in the wintertime when all the snowbirds came down.
Not quite that much. It's like in the 400s. Well, what's really sad though is Idalia, that hurricane that was
a lot of people left for good after that.
Yeah, they when their houses got hammered on the south end of town, closer to the Gulf. The Gulf is Mexico's only 3 miles away, and so when the storm surge came in, it really came in. I mean, those folks I believe were looking at 9 feet. If it was a Category 4 winds, plus that big surge, because it was a special time, and I don't know, something about the way the water was coming. Yeah, it was just it was a super high tide event at a certain point in the day, and it hit just right. But if it was a Category 4, it would have been a 14 to 15 feet.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying
surge.
when we were talking about it before. I was like, I hate to say that people got lucky, but
right,
as far as water, because it hit during the lower tide, because I was watching it, and they were saying if it hits at the right time, if it makes landfall at the right time,
it's going to be bad
at high tide. They were saying like Yankeetown 15-foot storms, and I'm like, holy shit!
Right.
I mean, 15 foot, man.
Yeah, and we're on the end of town that's right next to Inglis. So you come through, you come off of Highway 19, you go through Inglis, and then you're into Yankeetown, and then you can't go no further because there's the Gulf.
Right.
There's a river on the east side that runs out. The Withlacoochee runs along Yankeetown, and then you if you've got a boat moored anywhere in Yankeetown, you get on that. In 10 minutes, you're in the Gulf.
Yeah.
And then there's, like I said, 3 miles down, there's the boat launch, Bird Creek boat launch, and it's real nice. great. There's some islands off there. It's a great place for sunsets. It's just awesome. And the only claim to fame that Yankeetown has, other than just a lot of charter boats going out, they'll take you fishing, or the professionals are going out to earn their keep. That's their business.
I figured instead of getting into the campground business down there, like that's what you'd have been.
On a boat.
I'm buying a boat.
No,
I'm buying a boat and I'm going fishing.
No, not me. I won't catch anything because I never could. When I was a kid, we'd all go fishing, and my side of the boat had no fish, apparently, because I never caught anything.
Yeah.
It was silly, but that's how it always worked. I'm sitting there and bored to tears. My cousins are pulling in fish.
That's weird.
Yeah. But the boat launch is pretty cool. It's just a quiet little old Florida town.
Yeah.
I mean, you're better off to ride around in your golf cart than in a car because the roads are so narrow. Sometimes you have to pull over to get out of the way so somebody else can go by.
Yeah, I heard they had a terrible crack problem down there, though.
Crack?
Yeah, I heard it was real prevalent.
Cracks in the sidewalk, or because it's interesting. It's interesting. There's commerce does not exist. There's in the center of the town at the village square. There's the Blackwater restaurant, and then there's Kat has her own little ladies' clothing store, and it's like just this like little building, just cute little building with a wooden sidewalk that goes right next door to the cute little building, and that's a real estate office.
Mm.
But
so you can get a dress and buy a house.
Yeah.
All in just one right next door to each other.
And, it's typical Florida where there's water, there's alligators. So, I'm real careful with that. You got to keep your eye out. You never know when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
Is there a good place to get pizza or anything like that there?
Yeah.
Without having to drive?
Yeah.
Like 20 minutes?
Yeah, sometimes you better drive. But, yeah, if the Blackwater's making pizza, it's real good. It's a
good pizza?
really good restaurant. People drive a long ways to go eat at the Blackwater, and it looks over the Withlacoochee right there.
Yeah.
So it's a quiet little town, but I learned just what a mess a hurricane can make, because it's my job in the campground. I'm the groundskeeper, and I really strive for getting it looking as good as I can get it. When we went across the state to Mount Dora, when we had to evacuate, we come back. My first day back at the campground, I'm walking around and I'm thinking, good God, this is going to be awful. Because
anybody that knows DanLee, just imagine him on a backhoe.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. But they didn't let you run a backhoe, did they?
No, I don't think anybody should let me run a backhoe.
Well, that's what I was.
I mean, I'm terrible.
You thought I was serious for a second.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait a minute, what have you heard? Because I know how bad I am. But
because you got to run those things with your feet and your hands, man.
Yeah. I mean, well, we're both drummers, and we should be able to just hop on and do it. But
yeah, but drumming's a lot different than like steering and shit. Because I mean, I drove a forklift where you actually took your foot off the gas pedal to brake.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is so foreign to me.
Right.
And yet, well, I was a NASCAR driver for 15 years. But we mashed the gas.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We weren't slow by any means.
Yeah,
we were going crisscrossing the country.
I never understand why they make machinery. I mean, they can make machinery to work like a car. I guess because they want it to be a specialty thing, so not anybody can just drive a backhoe or a forklift. Yeah,
it's weird. It's a challenge.
Let's not put a brake pedal and a gas pedal. Just is like make you lift your foot to stop.
Right. And then it's
when you're already nervous driving the thing because it steers with a handle that goes like you know what I mean? Doesn't have a steering wheel or handlebars. It's this knob that just turns around.
Yeah.
It's like a suicide knob, but there's no. It's not attached to a steering wheel. That is the steering wheel.
Yeah. Yeah, the forklifts are so dangerous because you're in narrow hallways in a factory or something,
Right.
and there's people walking by. And
I ran into one of the racks. They wanted me to run a forklift, and that's what happens.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's not what I was supposed to be doing here, but
Right.
You fucking want me to get on a forklift? Well, I'm gonna mash some fucking metal.
Yeah,
probably.
really. Yeah, it's bound to happen.
I got better at it after I did it for a little while, but
yeah, the learning curve. Literally, they just say, "There it is. We'll show you how to start it."
This is what I'm talking about. The brake is because you're like the steering is opposite for one thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so you're heading towards it, and you're like, okay, I need to brake. So you're mashing your foot, and you're actually just like flooring it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're supposed to lift your foot.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the safety features. Is take your foot off the gas, it's going to stop.
Unless if you fall off, the thing stops moving. But
yeah, it's there's a learning curve to it, and I hate it when especially if you come in as a temporary person and they want you to do something like that, and you've got no training.
Right.
And they'll just say, yeah, get on that thing and go pick up that stuff and move it over there. And if somebody else brings something, put that over where you put the other stuff. It's like, and you got no freaking idea how to run this thing. So you get over and you start it up and you start messing with it. And it's like, well, okay, I'm going to get this figured out in a minute or two. But
yeah,
I can get it figured out in a minute or two, but keep everyone away from me for like the first 2 weeks because this is crazy.
You can literally kill somebody with one of those things easy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like I like the sit down ones, the ones that run on propane generally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're a little bit easier to run. I mean, you got to get used to the actual lift.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the one I was talking about was a cherry picker, where
sure.
You're on the thing that actually raises up,
and you're going up with.
Yeah,
it.
there's no. These don't have. You go up. These are like piece pickers.
And there's just a belt.
You go up and
there's you and a belt.
Yeah, well,
that's the only thing that's holding you in there.
And you have to have your harness locked in because the whole platform that you're standing on raises up, and so you go up. You either get a box or you open a box and you get two shirts out of it, and then you reseal the box and mark on the box. You took 2 shirts out, so there was 12. Now there's only 10. So that's what you're supposed to do.
Right. Exactly. Inventory control.
Yeah. I think a lot of it didn't happen, but
I couldn't do that. I don't like heights, and I would never get over the height thing.
That didn't bother me that much. I mean, because you're wearing a harness and you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Even though it feels like if you did fall off, it's like, oh, I'm going to fall off and it's going to pull this whole thing over. It's like, that thing weighs way too much for you to be pulling.
Right,
it's
right.
Like it's falling down if you fall off.
They probably test the hell out of it, make sure it can't go over.
Yeah, but
because it builds up speed when you go over. You're moving by the time you whack the floor, and you're in trouble.
Hell yeah!
But I did enough of the forklift stuff, and it's interesting. It's a very interesting thing. You gotta any factory out there really needs to train their people first. Don't just think they're gonna hop on it and get it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's cool watching somebody that actually knows, like, that's good.
Yeah.
Same with like heavy equipment. When you see somebody that's really good, you're like, damn, because I ran a small, like a Bobcat.
Yeah.
Before, and
I've never run one.
It's scary at first because, like I said, I mean, you're steering, and I mean, you're using both feet, and you're using both hands, and this controls this and this controls that, and I couldn't even tell you exactly now. But I mean, after I was on it for a little while, I was like starting to get better at it.
Sure. Yeah.
You start getting that, and I think being a drummer does help because you're used to using your left and your right foot
exactly
as well as your hands.
Yeah.
So that part of it, once you realize that, my left foot's the hi-hat, my right foot's the, so my right foot's the raises and my left foot angles it, or whatever.
Because when you're driving, your left foot is, what are you going to do? Step on the emergency brake? Well, not the kind that we have now in the center that lifts up, but the old emergency brakes. That's the only
on the floor.
That's the only work your left foot got in a car.
Yeah, other than the high beam switch.
The high beam switch.
Which
that's right.
I wish they still had them.
And sometimes they were installed under the carpet.
Right, right.
Because of the higher end cars, they didn't want you to see that sticking up through the carpeting.
Yeah.
But oh my God, when
I
those things didn't work.
Well, that's a problem.
Oh
like
my
if you lived
God.
up north and stuff where you got snow, once they
Oh,
got
yeah.
wet and rusty, and
Right.
they'd stop working. And I think that's why they got rid of them. But
Yeah.
I hate this, that push it forward for high beams and pull it back. But
Yeah.
then when you pull it back, if you pull it back too far, it throws the high beams anyways.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Right.
I don't use high beams very often.
No, I don't. I
Because
don't
there's
either.
too much traffic. I mean,
Right.
as soon as you turn them on, you got to turn them off. So
Uh-huh.
the other night I was coming home and it was dark, and I used them a little bit because there was some gaps in traffic, and I was
Yeah.
watching for when I was coming back from coming up to see you guys.
Uh-huh.
It's
Right.
like, yeah, I got to watch for deer. So
Right. Right.
if I can have them on, I will, just so I can see out further and just make sure there's no deer coming.
But it's interesting. The gaps are minimal.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's so many people that are moving out that way around Lake Norman, north of Charlotte.
Yeah, well, I didn't use them all the way down 150.
Right.
I didn't actually use them until I got
Yeah.
into Gastonia and was coming just the last little leg of the trip coming back
Right.
here.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it.
On the back roads.
Yeah.
Yeah, not on 150 at all.
Uh-huh.
And then, 321's basically like a highway, so there's always cars coming the other way, so I never use them on 321. But
And what's funny is Yankeetown is just the opposite. We are far enough north on the west coast of Florida that the infrastructure is not really developed much.
right.
Now we're in Levy County, okay, Levy County, Florida, and we're right at the southern line between Citrus County, where Crystal River is.
Mm-hmm.
We're right at that line. But going north, coming out of Yankeetown and going north, for instance, if you want to go to Cedar Key, now a lot of people might have, when they were watching the storm, where they were watching the weather channels, Idalia is coming up. We know it's coming up our direction now, and they're saying the eye is going to hit Cedar Key. They were always talking about Cedar Key, which is a very cool little, kind of like an artist community. It's really neat. It's a neat little place. By water, it's 7 miles away. By water. By car, 44 miles away.
You were telling me about that. That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? 44
it's
miles.
like when we lived in Texas, by car to go down to the Gulf. I mean, probably half hour or
right.
so.
Sure,
I mean, if you could, as a crow flies, probably a third of that. If you were there once.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, like, if you could have just left our house where we were staying and flew directly to the Gulf,
yeah, real quick
at 40 miles an hour or 50 miles an hour, you'd probably be there in 5 or 10 minutes.
Right.
But, having to go away from it to come back towards it.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's north of where we are. That's kind of what it's like in, Levy County and the other counties north.
Right.
Until you get up around Tallahassee, then you've got a city. But let's see, what I was going to say is that there's a little town called Otter Creek in Levy County. It's just north of us about, 10 miles. I've never been there. I guess I've been through it and just didn't know it because it's about 100 people that live there. Maybe I missed the sign that said Otter Creek. But
I think Otter Creek doesn't warrant more than like 100, 150 people.
But what's interesting is there's a guy that moved there from another location, and Otter Creek has a town council, has a mayor, vice mayor, it has a town council. I think the whole board is like 5 people.
That's just because they want to feel like a big town.
Yeah. So, and in the past, there's been stuff going on there that's maybe, I'm going to say maybe a little little odd things going on. They're a little bit odd with some of the council members. That's about as interesting of a way I'm gonna put it.
Yeah.
But there's a guy that moved into that area, and he was really at odds with the town council because he's a sharp businessman, sharp guy, very nice person, but he's been doing videos about everything that he's seen there, and he talks about it a lot, and he goes to the meetings, and he owns the property there.
Yeah.
And he owns property elsewhere, and he been doing a lot of videos talking about the situation he's in with them and all of this, and he's like one of the most watched things on YouTube.
Everybody's interested in Otter Creek. Didn't you know that?
I had
national sensation.
I had no idea, but I as soon as I started watching it, because your uncle likes to watch it, and
I mean, you could barely get the words otter out of your mouth, and people are going creek.
You're pulling my leg now.
I am pulling your leg now.
But so I thought, well, there's Levy County's claim to fame, Otter Creek on YouTube.
Yeah.
So anyhow, like I said, I probably drove through it and never knew I was in it.
And just so everybody knows, that was a paid advertisement for Otter Creek Chamber of Commerce.
Absolutely. If you're going to vacation in Florida, you'd probably want to start with Otter Creek.
Yep.
And then go from there. So you'll be like, okay, why are we here? Maybe we should just pitch a tent for a night and then move on.
Yeah. Where's the creek? Where's the otters?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like where I live, Lake Jackson. There's not a fucking lake there. There's no lake.
Right.
Like, who called it? That's like, you know, Mount Francis or whatever. Maybe that's an actual name, but, but yet it's flatlands.
Well, in Florida, when we got evacuated from Yankeetown, we went over to Mount Dora. There's no mount.
Right.
No, there's one mount.
Seek higher ground. You're in Florida. There is no higher ground.
There is one. There is one.
But it's only like we were talking about this. It's only like like 60 feet or something.
No, it's actually 300.
300 feet.
It's 300 feet. And
so it's an active volcano.
Yeah, it's the highest. I believe it's the highest point in Florida, and it's closer to. I don't know what it's closer to. It's somewhere near Spring Hill or Brooksville or whatever, but it's like 300 feet.
300 feet, man.
Yeah, and they call Mount Dora Mount. There's a lake there. Lakes are level.
Yeah, right.
It's not butting up against a mountain. It's all level.
Yeah. It's funny how they name places.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, let's take 5 minutes, stretch our legs.
Okay.
And we'll get back at it.
Cool.
All right, we're back from that 5-minute break that turned into, it's like old times.
Right.
5 minutes turns into, we were moving furniture and all kinds of shit. So I don't even remember what we were talking about before we took our
I was just talking a little bit about Otter Creek and Yankeetown and Cedar Key and that bunch of stuff.
Yeah. More Florida bullshit.
Florida bullshit.
No, I did want to ask you, what's your favorite thing about Yankeetown?
It's old Florida. I love old Florida. I mean, I've been going down to Florida since the mid 1950s, and
Florida existed then?
Oh yeah, it's been a peninsula for a long time. So, we'd run through areas of Georgia. I mean, there wasn't interstate then, and you'd run through, and then these northern towns in Florida. So Georgia, Florida, you've got these big canopies of trees that oaks and different trees, and they have like that moss that hangs from them, and that's the way Yankeetown is. It's just like that.
Yeah, that's how the part of Texas we were living in was, those trees with the moss.
Yeah, and they're very crooked trees. They grow in strange ways.
Kind of creepy looking trees, really, but they're cool.
Yeah, they're very cool. So it's just a quiet little town. That's all. And I know that so many people move into specific states, and they're just going to have to expand, and even though they don't want modern type of things coming in, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I just look around the area that we're in right now along Lake Norman, from Mooresville to Cheryl's Ford, where we are in Lake Norman. And
that's ridiculous.
It's insane. Highway 150. I remember the first time your mom and I ever saw it was 1982, and I don't even think there was no signal lights anywhere that I can remember. You could probably drive them almost all the way from Mooresville to Lincolnton without a signal light.
Right.
Maybe there was one.
Probably one at 16 and 150.
16 and 150, yeah. That's what I was thinking, but my gosh. It is. We came in on what night did we get here? We got into Charlotte right at the start of rush hour.
Yeah.
So I hopped off and we came in through Denver and got over to like the corner of 16 and 150, and it was just cars, solid cars.
Yeah, well, this time of year too. I mean, traffic's just
it is crazier because people are trying to accomplish stuff too.
From Thanksgiving through Christmas, it's just like I went down. Well, Dar doesn't listen to this podcast, so I don't think she listens to any podcast.
Oh, really?
But there's an ice cream store down in Gastonia on Franklin.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Well, it's not the one you're thinking of. This is a newer one that opened up.
Oh, okay.
But they make a lemon something ice cream that Dar just loves.
Oh, no kidding.
And her birthday being tomorrow, my wife's like, I just want to get my mom something for her birthday. I said, well, I didn't say you couldn't get your mom something for your birthday a couple of days ago. And I said, I just wanted to get her some ice cream because she really likes that ice cream. So
yeah.
I went, I guess I went to the food line to get some groceries, and then I ran into Lowe's to get a couple things. And then, I was stopping along the way. I planned out my trip.
Right.
And the ice cream place had to be the last one because ice cream. I got to go straight home after that.
Yeah.
And but the traffic was just ridiculous. I almost got ran over twice within 10 seconds in the Lowe's parking lot because people were just old guys driving down. But then he stops because he's waiting for this person to back up, and I'm walking to my car, and neither one of the cocksuckers would stop and just let me get out of their way.
Really?
It's like just stop.
Yeah.
I even said it when I was walking by the car that was backing out because I walked around and walked beside the car, and I said, Jesus Christ, I almost got ran over twice in the fucking Lowe's parking lot. I don't know if she heard me or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, you don't just get in your car, throw it in reverse, and back out. You got to kind of look.
Yeah, you gotta know.
But I was like, tough. And when I got back with the ice cream and stuff, I was like, that's my last trip until after Christmas to Franklin Boulevard.
Yeah.
Like, I know I need to go to the grocery store and stuff, but I will not go to Franklin Boulevard because that's where all the shopping is.
Yeah.
In town.
Right.
That's where all the restaurants and not all the shopping, but a lot of the shopping. It's the central area of shopping down there. That's where your Best Buys are and Lowe's and Home Depot and tells you what I shop for.
Right.
Lowe's, Home Depot, Best Buy.
So would you think from the hour of 9 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock is a good hour down there, or is it just...
This was after lunch, so it wasn't even lunch rush.
So,
and this was it was Thursday. It was the day before yesterday.
So your only good opportunity, it's like the only thing I can see is 9 to 10 in the morning or 1 to 2 in the afternoon.
Gastonia is weird though. I'll go out at 5 o'clock, and there'll be like hardly any traffic.
Really? Wow.
And you'll go out at like 11:30 in the morning, and it's fucking just traffic everywhere.
Yeah, that is nuts.
It's so weird. I mean, there's certain places where at 5 o'clock you avoid because you know that.
Yeah, you know, it's a
Right.
lot of people trying to get somewhere.
Yeah, I just can't. I just don't trust people, and Franklin's just too congested, and people aren't paying attention, and they just got their, McDonald's or whatever, and they're eating fries, and
right, sure.
I'm not getting rear-ended down there.
Yeah, everybody's got their focus, and their mind is racing, and they're thinking, I've got all this to do, that to do, and got to get back to work or whatever.
Right. So if I need more caulk, let's wait until after Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. I don't blame you. That's your safest bet.
Because that was one of the reasons I went to Lowe's, was to get caulk.
Right. The thing that I hate at Christmas time is when I hear these stories about people fighting in a store over stuff. It's my God.
I don't think it happens as much now because so many people shop online.
Yeah.
Like Black Friday, like I saw all kinds of videos on TikTok where like people were at like Target or Best Buy or whatever, and they're like, it's Black Friday and there's nobody here. It's like, yeah, because number one, a lot of the videos were like, the TVs are, a big thing on Black Friday. Go get your new flat screen TV. They're on super sale on Black Friday. Well, they were pulling out the sale signs, and the actual price was behind it.
Oh, no kidding.
It was the exact same price.
Oh, so they had a sales flyer and they slid it in front of.
Right.
They didn't take out the one that shows the normal price, and it turns out they were the same. Yeah.
Wow. And that's common. You go to a Target or any place, and because it doesn't say that it's a lower price. It says as advertised. Okay. That just means that it was in their flyer or they advertised it somewhere. Yeah. Doesn't mean that it's $200 less than the normal price. Wow. That's just a retail. That's a thing they do. Yeah. And I also did see, and I don't know how true it is, but a guy was saying the worst time to buy a new TV is on Black Friday because all those TVs they ship in are basically spare part TVs. The TV manufacturers have all these leftover parts, and so they slap together TVs. Yeah. Made out of spare parts. So you buy a TV on Black Friday, it might last you a couple of years.
You're right. There's a push to get inventory into all the stores.
Well, they just want to get rid of all the pieces and parts.
And
I don't know if this is true or not, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Man, can you imagine buying a clunker? That'd be awful.
Yeah. I mean, the price of TVs is definitely cheaper than it used to be, but unless you got to have the latest and greatest 4K or, right. By the time I buy a 4K TV, they're going to be up to like 68K. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then there's my world. What is 4K? What the hell does that mean?
I think, and I could be wrong, but I think it's like 4,000 pixels per square inch.
Okay. So you've got great color, great everything.
So like 1080, like what my TV is in the living room, 1080
okay, I see.
Is probably 1,080 pixels per square inch. So now you're going up to 4,000. Yeah. But,
So anything that like a Disney commercial could put together would be a hell of a lot better to watch on 4K.
My eyes aren't as good as they used to be. Yeah. So unless I had a TV that was playing the exact same thing on 4K and one right next to it playing it on 1080. Yeah. And I'm just looking at both of them going, because we're not talking back to old standard definition as opposed to high definition, which everything is now. Right. There was a significant difference. Yeah. Like you see like something old where it's square, it doesn't go your whole full screen. Yeah. Right. That's standard definition and it's grainy and you're like, this is what we watch. This is how TV looked
Yeah.
when I was growing up.
Sure.
You know,
Absolutely.
but the 4K and 8K, it happens so fast. It's like the technology's there. They're already up to 64K, but they're just waiting until the 4K market is dead. Then we'll raise it up to 8.
Right.
When the 8K market is dead, we'll raise it up to
whatever,
maybe 16 or maybe 12 or whatever.
It's a slow climb, but everybody's going to want.
But
that
there's
can
people
afford.
that have to go buy the latest and greatest.
Yeah.
They have to have the best phone.
Right.
They're the people that will stand in line all night long to get the latest iPhone, and it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, wait a couple months. They're going to have them back in stock. I'm not fucking standing in a line at an Apple store
Right.
all night long just to get a phone.
Yeah. Yeah. It's terrible, but it's not terrible. All I want is a flip phone that can pick up 4 or 5G. That's all I want.
Well, see, that's where I don't even understand. I don't even know what the fuck, whatever 5G. What?
Yeah.
I don't think you need 5G on a flip phone.
Right.
I think it just makes shit faster. Like if you watch movies on your phone. Like I don't watch movies on my phone. I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I watch TikTok videos and stuff, but the only time I do that is like if I go outside to have a smoke or something.
Yeah.
I'll flip through TikTok videos. I don't sit in the house and watch TikTok videos. My phone is sitting over there on the table, and that's where it sits 99% of the time.
Right.
Unless I'm outside. When I go outside, that's the only time.
Yeah.
I'm watching, but I certainly don't watch movies on it.
Yeah. I had my my new phone for a while. I had
5 minutes.
I had it for a few months. I think I had 6 pictures on there.
Yeah.
A game, never. Just phone calls and a few pictures, and that's how I exist with a phone.
Yeah.
That's why I think the $45 flip phone might be a good idea.
Yeah, and I mean, like, do you really take that many pictures?
Not really. If I wanted
So
to,
I wouldn't buy a smartphone just to take pictures with. You'd be better off just to, get a cheap camera.
Yeah, sure. Now my goal is to get a phone for calls, a few texts, a few pictures, and but I want to do videos. I want to make videos, and I've got what you bought for me, a couple of different designed the mounts for the phone.
Right.
And unfortunately for your mom, I'll just take her phone when I want to go do that.
Well, that or you can get action cams now relatively inexpensive.
Oh, that's good to know.
Not GoPros. GoPro is the Apple of action cameras,
Right.
We're going to charge $900 for our latest and greatest.
That's a lot.
But, Trivion is making pretty decent camera for about $80.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's my speed.
So there's definitely options out there for cameras.
Right.
Action cameras.
Yeah, that's what I got to do.
Or video cameras or whatever. But
right.
Or you can go the route I took,
Mm-hmm.
Go drop $1,000 on a fucking camera. Still paying for it. It's getting close, though. I'm getting down there now.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
Got to clear that bill off the credit card so I can get a new lens.
That's right. Improvements.
Just be in internal debt.
Yeah, I hear that.
No.
Gosh.
I haven't decided that on the lenses. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think I'm good right now. I don't think there's a whole lot I need. It's more want type stuff.
Right.
I'd like to improve my lighting a little bit, but other than that,
right.
And again, like I've talked about it before, the budget videos. I was looking at lights the other day. I'm like, there's got to be like a key light or a softbox light that, so like let's go on YouTube, put in budget, key light or whatever, and they're like $300-$400. I'm like, what budget? That's not budget.
Right. No, $400.
I mean, it is budget in the. Technically, it is because you can spend thousands.
Sure.
But I think when people look for budget, they're looking for like
I think $200 is the absolute limit for budget, and then beyond that is
because I don't have a $30,000 studio.
Right.
Like to have the lights that we're using right here, these little rechargeable. They're great little lights. I love them.
Right.
Got them for more portability to mount on the camera when you need light.
Mm-hmm.
But they actually, because they're RGB lights, red, green, blue, you can change the tone of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Whereas those USB lights that we were using, like the ring lights and stuff, you get the amber, the day, and there's like 3 color temperatures.
Yeah.
Where these, I can just mash the button and it'll just go from white to green to blue to
right,
and everything in between.
Yeah.
But they're little tiny things and they're not really meant for this type of setup. But if you have a $30,000 studio, you're not going to be using these lights.
Sure.
I have a $20 studio.
Yeah.
So the lights are actually more expensive than the studio.
Yeah, they're on a different budget.
I shouldn't say that because this table, the stand cost me like $50.
Wow.
The tabletop didn't cost me anything. It just the time and effort to sand it and stain it and
right.
But yeah, I mean, budget to me is different than budget is. Like doesn't matter what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
Budget tampons.
Wow.
$4,500 a piece. Budget gum. Wrigley's 5-pack. $16 a pack.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I bought a pack of gum the other day at $16 for 5 sticks.
You are kidding.
I am.
You're scaring me now.
I wouldn't. Well, yeah, because I'd be insane to spend $16 on 5.
All right. Wow. Whew. You had me.
But it is expensive. Like I don't know how many sticks come in it, but they're like there's probably like 25 or 30 sticks in there. And then there's a 3-pack. They're in a pack of 3. So it's quite a bit of gum.
Right, right.
But I remember they used to be like, for like Wrigley's Spearmint or whatever, or Big Red. It used to be like $1.50 for the 3 packs.
Yeah.
And now it's like $3 and some odd cents.
Which
is still reasonable for that amount of gum, I guess.
Yeah.
In the scheme of all the groceries, how much everything is now.
Yeah. It's interesting that when I was just a little squirt living in East Rochester, New York, we go down to the little theater on Saturday. My sister and I would go. And the great thing was we could walk from the house. Mom didn't have to be with us.
Right.
We just walked from the house and went downtown. The great thing was where the theater was, there was a little candy store. Imagine that, right next door.
Oh, yeah.
I had a dime. She had a dime.
And we went walking out of there with 15 pounds of candy.
Yeah, we had a good-sized bag of candy, and you could tell them, well, do you want just one thing, or do you want to mix? Whatever you want.
Because a Fireball was a penny.
Exactly. That's it. Gumballs.
I mean, they weren't when I was a kid, but they were still like a nickel or 10 cents.
Yeah.
Whereas now, if you went and bought if you could even find like a place that sold like single Fireballs,
yeah,
they're probably like 45 or 50 cents a piece, or who knows? Even
I wouldn't doubt it. But this is like the mid to a little bit later 1950s. You get a really good size amount of stuff in that bag for 10 cents.
Yeah. Well, I remember we lived on Howell Street
in Canandaigua. Yeah.
Up there near where the what was the pizza joint that was up past the
Papa Frank's.
Papa Frank's.
Frank Idoni.
Right next door there was a candy shop or a place that sold candy, and we used to go up there all the time.
Yep.
And like if you had $1, you were walking out there with one of those little paper bags just full.
Oh yeah.
Of fireballs and whatever kind of
Yeah. Was it across the street? Because Vecchi,
it might have been across the street.
Yeah, Vecchi's had a deli over there.
It's been so long, but they had they just had like jars of you just got what you wanted. They weren't packs of, it's just single. Like I want a fireball and I want a everlasting gobstopper and I want this or whatever, and you just got one of each or whatever.
It's hard to think that they're making a profit.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Or like back in the 50s for 10 cents, they're still making a profit.
Well, and I will tell you that the everlasting gobstopper is not everlasting.
It didn't.
Yeah.
Oh man. So truth in advertising.
I was 38 when it finally went away.
Really?
So
you saw him?
Well, the last one I bought.
Yeah.
Lasted till I was 38.
Oh.
So it lasted 28 years, but it wasn't everlasting because I still have it.
It was probably a lot smaller, right? It kept getting smaller, didn't it?
Smaller, yeah.
Okay.
Because there was rings of different flavors as you went.
What a great business to be in.
Yeah. Talking about candy, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay.
Charlie, the main character, other than Wonka himself.
Yeah, right.
I saw a video on TikTok the other day. He quit the business after that movie. He said it wasn't for me. I didn't like it.
No kidding.
He's a veterinarian.
Wow.
Like a small town, like wearing overalls, like going to people's houses and working on their cows and stuff. Veterinarian.
Wow. Like
a down to earth, like old school veterinarian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you always never really thought about it, and it's like
Yeah.
because you never saw him in another movie or anything. He's like, yeah, it wasn't for me. I didn't like it.
Wow.
Like I did the movie, and I was like, nah, not really my thing.
Right.
And he ended up probably just going on with the rest of his, high school and all that, and and ended up being a veterinarian.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder what I don't remember what year that was done in, but makes you wonder what kind of a child actor, how much money a child actor would make in a movie.
Well, hopefully enough to put him through veterinarian school.
Yeah,
anyways.
really. Yeah, really, because I'm sure all the other actors.
Well, Gene Wilder probably got the most of the budget
imagine.
as far as talent went.
Yeah, he's definitely the draw, but you'd just like to hear a number sometime. It's like, what kind of number would they pay a child actor?
Well, back then, not what it is now, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, who knows? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he only made $30,000 for that. And that movie, really, that's one of those movies like The Wizard of Oz. It's just an iconic.
Right.
It's just, it's one of those movies where I'll watch it now.
Uh-huh.
I'll watch it again. I haven't seen it in years, but now the remake with Johnny Depp, creepy as fuck. And now they're making a spin-off movie, or it's already made or whatever. They're promoting it.
Yeah.
It's more about Wonka and not Charlie and
right.
But it's like now you're diluting the original movie. I hate it when they do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the younger generation should watch the original, not the new hyped up.
Right.
It's like if they remade The Wizard of Oz. I think people would lose their fucking minds.
Doesn't work.
Right. You dilute the original.
Right. It won't work.
Yeah.
There's a charm to the old one.
Right. Exactly.
Sure. Just like the Superman show, the Westerns, the Lone Ranger and Tonto. I mean, there was a real charm to those.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to say remakes, but I wish they would make more Westerns, because I'm when it comes to that, I'm still a kid at heart. I want to see Westerns. I love the cowboy movies.
Oh my gosh. And incredibly, other than a few detective shows or stuff like that, when I was growing up, Westerns ruled.
Yeah.
They really did. Bonanza, You know, as the biggest, one of the biggest name shows, of course, Bonanza and
Right.
the Lone Ranger. I mean, there was just so many westerns on.
I used to love Bonanza.
Yeah,
Little Joe was my guy.
Yeah,
I was like Little Joe. Liked his hat. Liked his cowboy hat.
right.
I wasn't like the Hoss, the 10-gallon
Yeah,
thing, you know. It worked for Hoss, but
sure. Easygoing Hoss, unless you got him mad.
Yep.
Then he will pound you into the dirt.
Yep.
But
you wouldn't like me when I'm mad. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Yeah.
You turned green a couple times. But I mean, it was the early episodes before it was color, so you couldn't tell.
Oh, that was Hoss the Hulk. Good old Hoss the Hulk.
All right. Well, we're getting a little goofy now, so maybe we ought to call this one an episode.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
And have some munchies or something.
Sure.
I know DanLee's into the munchies.
Definitely.
But I'm excited about this. Next week we're doing our 3rd annual Christmas episode.
Yeah.
And Mom's going to sit in with us again.
Oh, good.
For the 3rd year.
Good.
So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And I know she wants to make Christmas cookies, so I was thinking maybe we could do get an early start, do the Christmas episode, then
eat some cookies.
Eat fucking cookies all day.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll bring plenty of milk and cookies. I'm there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm all about it.
So, but yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun having you back.
Yeah. I had to shake the dust off to do this, but this is fun.
It's for me, doing it by myself for the last 4 or 5 episodes or whatever. It's nice having somebody to
yeah, I hear you.
Converse with other than
Yeah, I hear you.
Trying to pull it off myself.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which I have yet to do, but I'm posting episodes, but I don't know.
Hey, just get your work out there.
That's all I can do, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of these days I'll hit 21 subscribers.
Hey, I'm watching. That's all I know is I'm watching.
But all right, it's been fun.
Yes, indeed.
And like I said, stay tuned next week for the 3rd annual Christmas episode. Thanks for listening. I am the Kid.
And I'm DanLee.
We'll catch you next time.
See ya.